scream at the ground. Do you hear me? The weight of your words, life-changing, calling in the space of our lives.
The following program was made possible by Von Fee Stanton Foundation and viewers like you.
I may be the worst friend you've ever had. Till you the function just sold enough to be mad. Great.
Yeah.
Everybody see that? How's that? Okay, we good? Okay. Excellent.
I may be the worst friend you've ever had. Till you the function just sold enough to be mad.
I am Stephen Brackett. I am the host of Sounds on 29. I got to talk with Gregg before the show, and every chance that I get to talk with him, I cherish it. I think he's one of Colorado's best thinkers, best artists, best people, best dads. And the rest of the band is just such an incredible group of like top tier assassins. I'm just, man, Colorado's got some talent, right? So with that, get hype, get proud, get loud for the dead pioneers.
John Wayne, where you at? You got your cowboy hat? You hate in your heart has been black from the very start. You are no hero. You're a milquetoast zero. I heard you have no teeth. John Wayne, what's your beef? Fake ass cowboy, overcompensating old boy. John Wayne plays SS. Picture tucked in his little cowboy vest. Best cowboy that never existed. White narrative gets it twisted. I wanna punch you, close-fisted. Tear down your silver screen of lies. Kevin Costner, where you at? You got your cowboy hat? The savior of the West, a f***ing liar with a cowboy vest. You suffer for your art, stealing stories and stabbing hearts. Colonial brain can't let go. Fake respect for your indigenous foes. Romantic with a capital R, a grave robber with a thirst for war. So tired of your devotion to the myth, there's no nobility, just murder and theft. Similar lies and genocide. You profit off the murder of a way of life that you'll never find. Best cowboy that ever existed, white narrative gets it twisted. I wanna punch you, close-fisted. Tear down your silver screen of lies.
Gregg, I want to just get right into it. When talking with a mind like yours and artists of your caliber, I just want to hop right into it. When we last talked, you talked about being Native, being Indigenous as first and foremost a political identity. Can you talk to me about that a bit?
Yeah, the misconception of Indigenous existence in the United States is that we're a racial group. We're not a racial group, we're a political group, a political status. We're canonized in the so-called founding documents of this country, and also canonized as Indians, which, you know, 400 or 500 years later we know is an incorrect term, but we still use it. Which changes sort of the way in which, like as a Native person, when you know that and you realize that, it changes the way that you articulate our issues and recognize the power and the importance of the things that we say that are sort of on a political, social, or even a cultural spectrum.
I found out that Public Enemy plays a big role in some of your political and activist awakening.
Yeah.
Like, so how does a kid from Salt Lake City encounter Chuck D and then become a visual artist and then leading this this incredible group, Dead Pioneers? Like, what's that path?
It's not as straight as a line as you had just stated it,
I'm sure.
for sure. Music was always really important growing up. My father was a hippie, and so it was just like, you know, Bob Dylan and Crosby, Stills and Nash, and Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, and Neil Young, and even you know, some others like Steely Dan and Steppenwolf and James Taylor, you know. But my mom had a pop sensibility, so she was Prince and Michael Jackson and David Bowie and things of that nature. But it was always really important, and those ended up being things that I connected with as a disenfranchised Indigenous kid, a brown kid in an all-white small town in Utah. And so I connected with a lot of music and a lot of things, but watching the Black experience unfold in rap and hip hop meant something to me because there was something familiar to it, to the shared experiences of being othered, you know, sort of in an American system. And Public Enemy was it. I mean, they mince no words. They say exactly what you think that they're saying, and love the unapologetic nature of Chuck D, and his delivery and cadence is something I've always loved. I know Welcome to the Terror Dome from the beginning to the end off of Fear of a Black Planet. And that really sort of is, I think, a catalyst for my own political ideas and awakening, realizing that there's a shared experience between the Black experience and the Indigenous experience, as we are both two groups that are rooted in the foundation of this country and in its problematic, you know, presentation. That translates, I think, to a career of being unapologetically outspoken within my work, within my activism, within anything that I've been attached to, and now to my inability to speak in a poetic way. What you hear is what you get, and that's how it exists within Dead Pioneers, which to me feels like a culmination of everything that I've been working on into this one project, and it just happens to be the project that seems to be gaining ground. I don't know that it's necessarily better or worse than anything else I've ever done. It just, in the moment, it seems to be the thing that is being amplified the most.
No one notices, no one sees. His life has no guarantees. Doesn't talk, can't hear, towers over you, stands near, observes and scans, stoic, nervous, has control, loyal service. He destructs, he constructs, this is all you know. Ratchet is a foe. Thank you, he says, McMurphy swore. Give him more, give him more. On a small words, whispers a phrase. In a daze, in a daze. Juicy fruit, juicy fruit, juicy fruit. You got played. Straight with silence, he stands makes is out of remorse. He lifts the sink with the strength of a horse. He flees to be indigenous and to be free. He represents you. He represents me. Thank you, he says, McMurphy swore. Give him more, give him more. Off a small word, whisper of praise. In a daze, in a daze. Juicy fruit, juicy fruit, juicy fruit. You got played.
I see family be such a strong component and strong community being such a strong component, like so many of the aspects of your artwork. It just says something really powerfully to me that I came in here and two of your kids are here, like in the best punk regalia, like best dressed folks here, like no, like, but like just knowing that like they're here and supporting.
Yeah.
Given what you were even talking about with family, that speaks volumes about how embodied your activism is and how embodied your art is.
Yeah.
And just how dope it is to be able to see like a punk family like being proud of their dad.
I think because of how I grew up, I recognize that kids need love and engagement, encouragement, and communication from start to finish, not until they're done being toddlers, not, like it has to happen all the time. And I just want to be a good dad. I introduce my kids generally at about 12 years old to a lot of this music and a lot of these bands. My middle kid, he's 13, he's sick, otherwise he would be here as well. But Sage, like anybody who's been following my work, especially in the last 10 years, Sage is a fixture with me in my work. Phoenix is not far behind, he's 16, but that means now that they're coming to me with this. But this is music we love, this is a scene we love, there's a spirit of it that we love, and we get to share that together, but it feels like oddly enough, if you've never seen a pit before, it still feels like a safe space for my kids, and I don't have to worry about them, I just let them be what they want to be. And to my parents' benefit, they never gave me a hard time about what I listened to. Yeah. They let me have my thing. But I like that I get to share that with my kids. As your boss, and you can scoop from stone, your arrogant self, your authority is wrong. Get some both things, you're thinking of first. No matter what you think, we're punk first. You should see him talking, you care about deep. You don't amount to a hill of beans. Keep talking and we'll need to get a hearse. No matter what you think, we're punk first. You know what that means? Punk first? That means we've been here all along, and now it's time to get some things back. Language back, culture back, ceremony back, identity back, homelands back, land back, land back. Music or a ruined song, doesn't matter how often I curse, at the end of the day, we're punk back! This is Phoenix, my son.
With a country that is so, almost by design, blind to the modern situation of indigenous peoples, I just want to ask you about how are you choosing to represent yourself as an artist, as an indigenous artist, and what a conscious choice that is that people might not be aware of.
That's a huge identity factor, right? I mean, and our identity as Native people has been really predicated upon the perspective of our existence versus the reality of our existence. In one of my songs, I said that a woman who's talking to me doesn't realize that while Native, I'm also having an American experience. It means that I can be an indigenous person, whatever that means for my tribal community, for the people that I'm connected to, while also being an American, whether I like that or not. which means that I am essentially can sing our ceremonial songs, or I can do certain things in certain ways. But I can also listen to Kendrick Lamar and appreciate that. Like, these things are not mutually exclusive. My presence as the frontman of Dead Pioneers really is showing anybody that sees us or that comes into contact with us to realize that I don't have to play Indian in order for you to believe that I'm an Indian. And so I don't wear feathers in my hair, and I don't adorn myself with certain things. I kind of dress like a car mechanic, really, you know, like work shirts and work pants. But recognizing that you are forced to reconcile my indigeneity through my words and not my appearance.
I continue to walk like a ghost in a graveyard of our 1,000-year home. I look like a stranger out here no matter where I continue to roam. You walk so aloof, you're ignoring the proof, and you're strangely so innocent. The end seems near, you're so full of fear, and destruction is evident. But we told you this wouldn't work. And now we see it lost your smirk. You took all the things that the earth brings to us in love and benevolence. In the beginning it was bad, and it's still pretty sad, and you're wielding malevolence. My dagger's stuck in the right side of your gut, and it doesn't seem to matter too much. One day you'll find me standing over your and with nothing left to clutch. Well, we told you this wouldn't work. Now we see it lost your smirk. Elon Musk stands over us in an effort to take it all. Puts him on the edge of a cliff that will provide an excellent fall. Your last thought of me, and soon you will see that none of us really own. Your corpse will feed growing things on this earth, and you will die alone. We told you this wouldn't work. Now you see, what's the smirk. We told you this wouldn't work. Now we see it lost your smirk.
How did you flip that switch? Knowing that you're an artist who is not afraid of any kind of medium, like you will find the ways to express yourself, from performance art to mural pieces to comic book reappropriations. How did you make the leap into music?
I have made an entire career of doing things I have no business doing. My wife would tell you that too. She would just tell you, like, how many times I've picked something up that I've never picked up before and said, no, I can do this. Like, in my mind, I understand, like, these are the principles, I can do that. And I have made a career of it. But I am also surrounded by highly intelligent and talented musicians that are helping me move in a way. And now we're to a point, I think, where we're all working together. I know what my job is, and they know that I know what my job is, and we're doing it together. Adaptability. I mean, a good performance artist, you know, which is probably my biggest and most prominent medium. A good performance artist can be adaptable, has to be adaptable. When you show up to the venue, it's never going to be exactly what they said it was or what you thought it was going to be, and so you just have to be able to adjust. But at the same time, you're also looking at, you know, a 50-year-old man who is emoting something that he's had inside of him since he was a kid, that I wish I could have been in a band when I was a kid. I wish I could have had the resources and the friends and access to what I have access to right now. My privilege has gone up in having access to those things because of my career and my life's work that I didn't have access to when I was a kid. But very much you are hearing oftentimes words that I wish I could have heard or could have said when I was young. But honestly, also, I might not have had the wherewithal to do that.
Correct me if I'm wrong, that kind of like rebuking of the frontier thesis and all of that is part of like just like the thesis statement of dead pioneers. Like,
yeah, no, we're meant to be completely irreverent in the presentation. It actually makes me think of Kanye West several years ago was working with a white artist who had painted a skull with a headdress on it, and that was part of his merch for one of his big tours. And that's a dead Indian. That's a dead Native person. And we exist all throughout the narratives of the United States. But what about the dead pioneers? What about the dead settlers? Like, you want to talk about our death so much, how about we spend some time talking about yours? And so it's meant to be in that space, which is a little tongue-in-cheek, but it's also just sort of an empowering take back a moment and realize that there's other stories and there's more enrichment and frankly a little bit of humor that we could add into that to have some fun with it.
You all are releasing your second album.
Yeah.
So can you just talk about like first project, second project, and what it was like going from like kind of like a maiden flagship one and now like being able to like...
Yeah. I mean, that first record, I kind of say that we did it on accident. We put a band together on accident. The idea originally was to create original music that would accompany the punk pan Indian romantic comedy. We got into the recording studio and we thought maybe there was something there, and we just sort of released it independently. Like, we're not on a label, we weren't doing anything, and we released it in September 2023, and within 5 months we had over 500,000 streams on Spotify, and got a huge punch in the arm from Germany, and UK had some pretty good numbers as well. And we just, no PR, no marketing, it was just, we put it on Bandcamp, we put it on Spotify, and just sort of walked away from it, and it turned into something else. Signing a record deal in April 2024, started working on the second record, and really are with a record company, Hassel Records, that is an independent record company, but they support us in what we do. And to me, that was the deal breaker. Doing the first one was so hard by myself, and even just with the guys, like it was a struggle. I was like, I can't do this again if we don't have some help, and we have help. Second record, the first record feels like an accident on purpose. The second record is more deliberate, recognizing a sophomore record is really sort of the one you have to prove that you're not a one-off. And we worked really hard on it, but also just remained unapologetic in what we were doing and what we were creating. And like I said, being surrounded by talented musicians makes it what it is.
Well, Gregg, thank you so much, man.
Yeah.
And then thank you for everything that you've done for yourself and for this art scene and what you're going to continue to do. So, man, thanks again.
I appreciate it, man.
Appreciate you.
America's a pyramid scheme, and you ain't at the top. Your demonization of those different than you is not just a cottage industry in America, but an honest-to-goodness American value. Huh. The foundation of this country is rooted in slavery and genocide, born in the bosom of colonialism. Go! Go! America places the original inhabitants as foreigners in their own lands. Don't be scared about learning the whole history. It's not going to hurt you. Capitalism can only exist if there's a poor class. soils and the homelands of Indigenous people. This structure is a rigged game that breeds homophobia, transphobia, classism, and ableism. And it all makes me so very tired. Damn. Heaven forbid that we share space and resources and ideas that would be communistic in nature. And I hear that that's against nature. And 3 cheers for late-stage capitalism. It's okay if everything dies, as long as it dies under my boot. By the way, it's not a political song. It's possible everything we believe is wrong. We are in the land of spirit eaters. You remember when John Trudell said that? Protect your spirit, because you're in the space your spirits get eaten.
If you enjoyed watching Sounds on 29th, we hope you'll support PBS 12 to help bring you more fun, grassroots local music programming. Visit pbs12.org/program support and donate today.